Good job. Good job. Okay, please. Please. Good job. Good job, kid. Good job, kid. Older kid. Okay. Okay. Haha. Come on. Good job. Very good. Perfect girl. Okay, please. Good girl. Perfect lady. Perfect lady. Okay. Okay, let's go. Good girl. Yeah. Oh, what a good girl you are. Good job. Now, before all this barking and the movement behind the thing was meaning that she will just leave me alone and she will go, you know, right there in the to the fence and try to fight them, but not anymore. Okay, place. Hey, yeah, there's a piece of poop. Come on, place. Go on, place. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay. Come on. Oh yeah, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. Oh, she loves this. Scratches, yes. Look at that face. Look at that face, loving scratches. Okay, come on, please. The best dog. The best dog. Good job. Come on the place. Come on. In here. Good. Sometimes she doesn't know how big she is. And when I practice this, I mean, I care, but I will guide her when her butt is on, off is, and her, how you call it, are on. So the front paws is where she's aware of. So those are more important. And if butt is completely off, I will probably guide her. Okay, come on. Good job. Come on, my baby girl. Come on, my baby girl. Come on, my baby girl. She's like all place. Good girl. Very good. I'm gonna hold behind all this stuff and gonna make your dog a little bigger. So she should be spending a lot of times on the place in her house, and it shouldn't be the times that are like extra times out of your day. It should be the times where, let's say, you're having breakfast, or you know, you're sitting down doing something, you are you know, doing whatever that is. So at this point, she's repositioned. I'm sorry, I was just watching her, and this is where we are, so it's hard for me to, you know, see through the I'm looking at her just the way she is. But on that place, she can be sitting, laying down, standing. I don't care what she does as long as she's on that place. And place can be anything. We'll discuss that. It can be absolutely anything, but she needs to be in there, inside of that boundary. So that blankets covers, I mean the corners, and all this, the blanket is the boundary. So she can do whatever she wants on it, but she cannot move from it. All right, in order for me to come back, I'm not gonna do it for too long. She can do up to 40 minutes on it, but I'm not gonna do it for too long. I'm just gonna start walking. The reason why, we're gonna do a 5 minutes down stay, so I don't want to overpower the video, and barely anybody can watch 5 minutes of the dog stay. And so, but worth the 5 minutes, that's worth everything else. Now she is, come here, good job. She is wobbly on her feet, so sometimes she gets off of it. Her back feet are not the best, so because of that, I am allow her some of the position changes and shifting because of her hips and the back legs and her everything else. Now you see I didn't release her. I did tell her I love this, but I didn't release her. So I want you to understand that releasing a dog from a stay, I need you to treat it as a promise. So that means that I put you there, so that means I'll come back to it and I'll release you from here. So please do not release your dog from a distance. Yes, she's gonna do it, but no, you don't want to. You want to literally promise your dog that you can stay there until I come back and release it. Your stay is going to be so much better in that cases, and she's not going to get nervous where you're going, what you're doing, and everything is going to be just fine. So once you release her, all you're doing is, okay, good girl, come on, good baby. That's all. That's how you release her. That's how you release her. And she actually loves it, so there's a possibility she's going to go back to it. Most of the time she does it. She does, but if she doesn't, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. And that's a good thing. I didn't ask you to. I didn't ask you to, right? I did not ask you to. You don't have to. But sometimes when she wants the extra treats or extra love or extra attention, she will do it. Now, in those cases, because I know your dog possibly will do it, in those cases, I don't do anything. I don't praise her. I don't correct her. I don't give her treats. I don't do anything. Why? Because I didn't ask her to. So only when I ask her to, it's when I praise the dog or react on the dog. Perfect. Place. No one, place. Good job. Very good. Hi. Hi. How are you doing?
I am fantastic.
Good job.
Hi, girl.
I didn't know where to stand, so.
Hi.
Good job.
Hi. I know. Oh, give me that puppy. Oh, you gave me the puppy. Thank you, girl. Hi. You're so cute. You're so adorable. Oh, look at you. Oh, my goodness. I just want no.
Very good. So I am choosing to reinforce her for that. Now, this is obnoxious, and this is only needs to be done with people that she knows. That should never be a standard practice. But because she is used to knock her over when she used to come in because she loves her so very much, I am not going to, even, I'm going to show you the worst case scenario. And that's all needs to be under control, all of that. So, all of that needs to be under control. Basically, all her emotions, how she feels, if it's extreme happiness, if extreme any other feeling, like everything want. Now, the reason why she's turned away from her and just watching me is because if she's going to look at her, she's probably going to break her down and, break her place. So she's trying not to. So she's trying to make it easy on herself and not to do it. And the only reason she's not petting her on the belly is because she doesn't want her to fall over the place, which is she's doing on a regular basis. And, she doesn't care, but we do because she does scratches. This is the easiest towel. This is the place where we didn't change it to tile yet, so we're kind of in the process. But see, that's everything else is just hard on her in our house. But that's because we have a lot of puppies, large breed puppies that fall, and we're trying to get the traction on it, but the traction is not good for your dog skin because it's just so brittle. So again, I made Amanda really long time ago nuts here, so I'm gonna actually let her go. So and I'm gonna talk to you as far as so she can't follow her, she's still on a place. And normally, again, this is not for anybody she does not know. This is only for everybody that she does know. So this is a practice for her, like extreme liking people not for her not liking people, okay? So she's basically showing me that she's tired of sitting here. So, hey, now this is her way of pushing. She will be pushing you, and you cannot give her way. I mean, that's a whole bulldog thing. They will push until, you know, literally the day that they die. So they'll push you nonstop. And depending on how pushable you are in these situations, they will judge you on every other situation. So they'll completely ignore you if you are pushable. So she still wants to go, you know, and her determination to go after her is strong. But that's where the training comes, and her respect for me is much bigger than all that, you know, stuff. But you can see that she's trying to figure out where she went, why she's there, and she has to stay here. And questioning this dog is questioning everything a lot, okay? Again, this is an older animal, so I'm not expecting her to be a robot, but I expect you to fight her on every decision this dog is trying to make. Because when this dog makes decisions that are dangerous, it's hard going to be for you to control her if these decisions are not made, okay? So, and that is kind of, yes, I said the magical words. I really did, but I'm not going to release her yet. So, my biggest issue with, you know, her being, meeting new people or having people that she's not really been around into your house is because she gets really, really uncomfortable. And until you can control her, it depends on how tough you're going to get with her. If you're going to get tough and you're going to do everything that I'm telling you to do, you probably will be able to control her completely. Not around other animals. And that's just because I would not just trust equipment 100%. So first and foremost, that, you know, the whole setting and whatever it is, I just wouldn't trust equipment as much as I would trust. But even if you are the best with her, like as far as me goes, I'm gonna get you all the proper equipment except for the muzzle. Muzzle is the only thing that you're gonna have to take the second she comes home, or even before she gets home. I don't know, I texted you that she needs a proper muzzle a long time ago, but obviously you don't have her measurements, and I didn't get a question about that. So when she gets home, she's going to get home with a temporary muzzle, and she's going to get home with the hardest muzzle on her because it's not made for her, but she's going to tolerate that for as long as you're going to get the next muzzle. But that's a temporary, just a training device until you get the proper equipment for her, okay? So that's basically that. And if she wants to go lie down, as long as she's on that, she'll be fine. But I'm just, you know, gonna let her do what she wants to do and see how much she's exploring stuff. Good. So, good job. That was a good decision not to go and smell the shoes or do anything else. And the thing is, she gets bored. I mean, she is intelligent, so she gets bored, so she's gonna get that. Now she looks very, very pathetic. Very, 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 very pathetic. So just because I'm leaving, again, doesn't mean that she can live with me. I'm just gonna leave her just that way. Everything is try to work on duration. And again, as we discussed, the more she wants something, then less you have to allow her to do it. Perfect. And that was very nice of her. Very, very nice of her. Okay, down. Perfect, down. don't know if you can see her, but when I get there, you're gonna be able to see her. Okay, I'm gonna go behind all this, and I'm gonna make your dog bigger, and that's what that is. So she can do up to 40 minutes on a downstay with moderate distractions as far as like a backyard or you know, house and whatever that is. So the 40 minutes usually comes from the fact that I normally have dogs, 3 dogs here that I work at the same time. So 20 minutes each dog works, and about 20 minutes, you know, many times a day, but about 20 minutes that each dog have a session to, and it has to wait for about 40 minutes until it turns again. And as far as her goes, she is very familiar with that. However, when you just start, you start with 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and then you get to whatever the, you know, working possibilities are in your house. But the more you work her on that, then better she's gonna be with you, because this is, although it doesn't look like a hard work, it is a hard work for her to concentrate and not allowing herself to get up and get, you know, going as far as that goes. So she's looking because Amanda is coming out from a back door over there, and she although loves Amanda, she still would prefer me anytime. And this is the funny thing, like I said, it's a funny thing because I work with her and I push her and I make her do stuff, and Amanda just loves on her. Amanda has a large nails which are so good for scratching, so they're constantly upside down, those two. Even though she's never asked for anything, and she's fantastic with her and just loves on her, and that's all she does. This dog prefers me more and over her, which is, again, just tells you how much they need leadership and structure. Basically, that's all they need. Well, hopefully she's not going to fall asleep, and if she does, that's okay as well. As of right now, there were squirrels and all this stuff, so we completely stopped her from going after that. Same with the neighbors' dogs, because I do have there's a pit bull that lives in that corner, so there's they can see each other, they can't get to each other. There's a double fence there. I specifically have a double fence pretty much everywhere where I can, and behind this there's a whole bunch of dogs there. So now I do a 5 minutes downstay because nobody can really ever wait for that long and watch this video. So Amanda is still going in and out of this thing. Now this is where she is at the moment. This is how far we are, and the reason why I do that because it is harder on a dog. But Amanda goes in and out, so obviously she's watching what she's doing and how she's doing, and I'm gonna be on my way in about 10 seconds. So when I'm gonna be on my way, I'm gonna put her on this, because in order for me to have I'm gonna start walking toward her. So very good exercises. Now going down again is tougher on her, but still very important for you to accomplish. I'm not making her sit. I mean, unless she sits by herself, I'm actually would never ask her to sit because of all this hips and everything else. Now down, she can lay down anywhere she wants to, so she can get as comfortable if she wants. So I'm gonna come in and I am going to reinforce her. only if she doesn't get up. And sometimes she will try to pop up, and I will absolutely not allow that. Now, so if she pops up, I'm not gonna reinforce it or anything else. However, I'm not gonna release her right away because I don't want her to associate I came back and I immediately release her. So I don't have to immediately release her. I can just have her, you know, wait for just a little longer, and I will come back to her. So this is the biggest thing as far as your dog and have a stable down. I would absolutely come back to her every time I put her on a stay. So what the down stay needs to mean in your vocabulary, it means that stay here, I'll come back to you and release you. I would never go away and then call her from a distance. And I will treat it just as a promise that I come back to her and release her. She's a good girl. She's a good girl. All right, so she's a touch me not, especially for other people. So we are going, we did as much as we could as far as desensitizing her to being touched. And she really needs this to, being able for you to take care of her. Because again, she doesn't like to be touched on different body parts. Now, unless you're scratching her, but the thing is, if she knows that you need to do something with her, that she is going to, not allowing you to do this. Okay. She got a couple scratches on her feet from my I have a natural stone floor, and there's a scratches on both sides of her feet the way she slipped, but they're healing. Everything is okay over there. But we kind of wanted to be able to look at it and make sure that we can see it, and you know how her skin is, so everything that we could everything that goes is just becomes pretty much raw and then have to heal a little while. So okay, go ahead and we'll start with, we did not do her nails because she really didn't feel comfortable with this, but we got as far as we got, which is touching the equipment to it, touching the foot. Very good job. Okay, so touching everything with it. So that's where she is, and putting a little bit pressure on each nail. So as you can see, she's not really comfortable with it. So you want to get her to the point where she is comfortable. She is taking her things away and everything. Now, why is it important? Good girl. Very good. All right, and it's enough with that foot. Okay, let's do the other foot. Good job. Very good. So all this uncomfortable is because nobody's really doing that. Nobody's working on it. So we have been working on it every single day. She's still uncomfortable with Amanda. She is a hell of a much better with me. And enough. All right, so let's touch her back feet. Good girl. Good baby. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. So Amanda is over there. Now, you obviously, she's going to be better than you the more you do it. I never do the whole, all the feet. I never do none of that stuff. And I didn't really dare to cut her nails and break that because she's not ready for it. But I will definitely. Good baby. Yes, Amanda is touching your feetsies. Amanda is touching your feetsies. That's all good. All right. And sometimes because you're putting the medication on her ears and all that stuff, please just to do a training sessions just like that without nothing, with not doing anything but instead of feeding her. So I would absolutely suggest to you that you feed her by hand pretty much the whole meals to create a better bond with her and better manipulation with her, because yes, I know you can do this, but it's just not really pleasurable. She's all in avoidance, and doing this, which Amanda is doing right now, and let's do the eyes. Hey, hello. Yes, you can lick her. You're allowed. Good job. So you also prepare her if you ever have to do medication and whatever that is. Uh-huh. Come on. No. Hey. Come on. Good. Good. Very good. She's trying to lick her hand and nothing else. Go ahead and disturb her to work. Good job. Come on. You gotta look at her mouth. Good job. What a good girl. What a good baby. This side. And all up front and the back over there. Perfect. Very good. All right. And we've always finished with brushing her, even though whatever that is, her brushing doesn't bring much, but she loves it. And this is kind of like the whole thing. I always do all of these things because once, you know, you need to put the stuff on her and you need to actually medicate her or deal with her, she's going to tolerate this much better. She's going to like it much more. And I would suggest to you just get into this level with her because, again, she's really, really shy on this. She really doesn't like this. Not the scratching, but like everything else, being touching, being held in the one position or anything else. So I know you had no problem like medicating her or whatever, but it's always like you're gonna beg her to do it. So you gotta get out of this begging phase and just tell her to do it. You know what I mean? And she needs to get completely trusty with you, and whatever it is that you want her to do. If she has a trust, she's going to do it. But if she's not going to do it for you, if she doesn't trust you to even hold her paw, I mean, what are we talking about if that's not what's happening, okay? So I would suggest anytime you have the time to feed her, literally like I'm right now. So I'm giving her something and she is, you know, happy as she can be. Now, I do this with treats, but you can do it with a whole diet. So just because, again, the relationship will be a heck of a much better with you and her. Good. Is it good? He's a good girl. He's a pretty girl. He's so pretty. You're such a pretty girl. Yee, pretty girl. Yeah, you are. Come here. Hey. Good girl. So first and foremost, we are going to put the muzzle on her in the crate. You see that she's already all strapped in as far as everything is on her. Now we are, you know, she knows not to bolt out, but you also need to have a physical, you know, thing, something to grab onto if you need to. All right, so you have a pretty much double protection. Then you have your muzzle that you're gonna put on prior to, you know, taking her out. Now I'm gonna get her, okay, and I'm gonna let her out here. Now, like with any other dog, I am unlike like any other dog. I'm not training her to lie down. I'm not training her to do anything, just except for staying with me and being right next to me. So we're gonna go in the store. Now, there is a very little possibility here that we're gonna encounter anything or anybody, so there is always a possibility, but we are going to. Good job. Very good. Now the muzzle is really not her muzzle, so as of right now, good job. I am going to reinforce her with some treats through the muzzle. That's one thing that's good about this muzzle, is you can do it. So that's going to be basically your working muzzle. Good job. And she doesn't need to be sniffing. She doesn't need to be doing anything with this. She just needs to walk with you. Easy. Good job. Good girl. People passing by, so good job. Very good. I know there's some food here. Good job, girl. Very good. Good baby. Very good baby. I know it's an open door. And I'm gonna stop right here again. I'm gonna reinforce her again. Now, the reason I'm reinforcing her because she's not really used to be anywhere in public. So I don't want her to be nervous. She's not, but she's also not used to. So everything is bothering her. So I'm not going to, you know, make it negative experience. Good job. Very good job. Good girl. I'm gonna make it a positive experience. She's right gonna be with me again. Good job. And we're not going sniffing anything. We're not doing anything. Now you see my setup also. So I've got to here. Again, I'm not making her do anything. Literally nothing. Now I might have to put you down because I'm gonna have to lift her. Okay. Come on. Oh well, and I lost you. So when she jumped, she stepped, or I don't know what the heck happened. So when she's in there, I'm still gonna reinforce this muzzle. I can't do it with one hand. Well, I actually can. What am I talking about? I can do it with one hand. And I'm gonna reinforce that here. And after that I reinforced it, I am going to take the muzzle off and we will be just fine. Very good. So you can only take the muzzle off when she is not fighting it, when she's not scratching it. She cannot be telling you when to. And just in case if she did try to get the muzzle, you know, from her. So what I do is I do just that. I'm going to put it back on her. And again, this is not a good muzzle, so she's not going to be happy with this. I'm going to put on her, I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to take that off. So I don't even have to give her that kind of reinforcement. So all I got to do is just do it this way. And as you see, I'm leaving everything on her. And again, I will be leaving everything on her because in her case, you don't want to just rely on training. You want to have a security blanket, which is that set up with a leash. That's a short leash. That's your security blanket. If there's anything goes wrong, whatever that is, you have a secondary measure. You know, I don't want you to pull up and start putting all the equipment on with a door open. Now I can do that, but that's not the contest. All right. The thing is, it's how you do what's you most comfortable for you to do. Okay, and this is the most comfortable for you to do. Now, see my setup. So I basically have this hanging just like that, and that will be hanging anywhere. So if I need to use it, I have it. I have a treats on me, and in your case, in the beginning, you need to use these treats because she is highly food motivated, and she's also stressing a lot because she has to go to new places and do whatever it is. Muzzle also not her proper sizing, so you need to kind of sort of reinforce the dog. Now you see how this connected, right? So I'm gonna actually spend the time right now to look at it. So you see how this connected. So this is connected to both. It's connected to the very loose choke collar that doesn't really do anything, but this is a German steel choke collar, so possibility of this snapping is very, very low. Well, lower than with Chinese made normal regular color. So this is gonna come home with her and should stay on her, but you see how she's not bothering her. Okay, e-collar that's gonna keep on the neck just like that, nice and attached, so you have a secondary you know, help. And the pinch collar, this is the way it needs to stay. It's nice and tight, it doesn't restrict the breathing, but it doesn't fall forward, you know, fall down. You see how it stays on the neck? Because this is what you're controlling. You're controlling this head, and this is a big head to control that follows a big strong body. All right, so that is my problem with all this, and this is why I really wanted you to you know, make sure that this is how you are staying. And we have people you know, side of us, we're good. So if you see the dog at any point, you're going to turn around. You're not going to take the dog out, or you're going to turn around, go in the opposite way. And we're not sniffing. We're not having any kind of leash except this size. All right, so we petted her, we loved on her, and that's how we, operate anything that you need. Okay, so again, we don't have good muzzles here for any kind of bulldog or mastiff breed or any kind of weird shaped dogs. Bull terriers, same pretty much way. So, but we are teaching them to accept the muzzle on the muzzle that we have right here, and these are like for everybody, so they all come out with wearing these muzzles, and not comfortably, but they are, get to know it. And if your dog is wearing this one, which is not comfortable for her at all, once you get her the good one, it's going to be a heck of a much easier on you. So that's the muzzle that that you have right now, but you need to get operable muzzle, the ones that's going to fit her, the ones that you're going to secure in her head, because this is not going to be secure in her head. It's going to make a show, but it's not going to get secure in her head. And this one is very easy for her to take off. So in any kind of situation that you need the muzzle, this is not going to protect it. This is just for training purposes and for you until you get your operable muzzle, which is made specifically for American Bulldog and her size and her specific structure. Now also, if you see all these parts on her face, right? So this is the parts that I asked you before when I left, and these are the parts on her face that are really suffered by the muzzle wear. So this is the size that it's properly closed her jaws and keeps them closed. However, do you need one that she actually can breathe in normally and go for a walk normally? And yes, we do this with that. I mean, she can walk in it, but her face is getting red, and it's literally rubs on her, that wonderful face of hers, because it's either because her nose is short, but really, really big head. All right, so let's try to, I am not going to put it on because it's easy for me. So I'm going to ask Amanda to actually put this on and walk with the dog. And doing this part, we'll see if, because Amanda has not been putting a muzzle on the dog, so it's going to be me working on it. But I do want to see how she is, with her. Go ahead. Very good. And let's go. Good job. So she is trained to wear it. It's, again, not her thing, meaning not her size. But although she doesn't like it, she's completely tolerating all this stuff. We have no issues with her wearing it, especially if there's something interesting. Obviously, you are not gonna wear this at home, but I will suggest that you practice at home every time you feed the dog. And this is a good actually muzzle to practice with. And always have this for the quick thing. But again, this muzzle can be taken off really, really easy. You need the one that goes underneath the neck and actually like clips on the regular collar behind her ears. And Maya might not be with a strap around her face. So again, operable muzzle is a must. So we're gonna stop, and Amanda is going to, very good girl, and give a second. Very good. She's completely comfortable and has no issues. Go ahead, Amanda, take this off. So you're gonna see me in public with her with this. However, again, I will never recommend you to have it. It's a temporary training solution. And the second she gets home, if you haven't done it yet, you're ordering this, and you're getting that proper muzzle while you're training on this and using this as a, you know, temporary thing. So, right? Mommy's gonna get the operable muzzle because this is not. So this exercise, I strongly suggest that you do with her at home when you feed her. So I'm gonna suggest you have absolutely no free feeding for this dog. So all the diet that she gets from you in order to create not only opportunities to work, but also relationship between you and her. So go ahead and put the muzzle on. So this is something to do at home. Now, this muzzle has opportunity to feed in the muzzle, but I never use it because your next muzzle is not going to have this opportunity. The ones that's going to be operable muzzle is not going to have any holes for the dog to eat or do whatever. So at this point, you don't really need any kind of special muzzles or anything else. All you need is this and this type of training. So you're going to put the muzzle on at the house when she's just lying down, and she is going to be eating in between this. So this is why I'm making this video for you, so you know exactly how to practice muzzle. Now, if you don't practice muzzle, she's going to get irritated with that. If only you're going to use it when you need it, well, that's never going to be good, because this is so not pleasurable experience. Plus the dog feels very insecure because the mouse is what she is testing the world with and what she's doing with. And as of right now, I actually calculate, so I want her to be about 2 minutes in it without me giving her anything in between. So if she falls asleep, hey, she falls asleep, it's all good. But I'm waiting for this 2 minutes to finish before I do it. So I always have some kind of number in mind, and that could be from 1 minute to 3 minutes to 5 minutes. It's never a solid number. Go ahead and take it off. So she's going to take it off, and I am going to reinforce the dog for being patient and for being good. So she is going to eat a handful, and then again, muzzle goes back on her. And we're doing this again. So this time around, they can go either longer or shorter, depends on what you want to do. But what does it create? That creates a tolerance and patience for the muzzle. Okay. You also don't need to be reinforcing. This is the time when the dog most likely is going to take it off. There's actually 2 times: the dog doing nothing, which is dog doing right now, or dog in the middle of going after another dog or going after another person or something that's uncomfortable happening. The dog wants this muzzle off so she can face the situation heads on. Okay, which is she normally God-given situation, right? we just doing that. And your muzzle is crooked. Amanda put the crooked muzzle on. Now, even though it's crooked, see, she's still not trying to take it off. She's very, very patient with it. So she really, you obviously cannot practice a muzzle when the dog goes nuts after something. So you practice this. Complete. The dog is relaxing, doing nothing. This is a hard thing to do. This is usually the hardest thing for the dog to do, is to have something on when there's nothing going on, because she's gonna want to take this right off of her face. And in this case, we're going for 3 minutes, so I am going to keeps this charade up, right? And she's gonna have to wait for a little longer. Now, with the as time goes by, this shouldn't be increasing the number, because she's gonna get more impatient if you're gonna do it for 15 minutes. I never do that way. So let's say before I feed her, I would do a session like this for about, so everything I feed her will be given her in I don't know, 5 to 7 to 8 minutes. It could be a 1 hold, it could be a 5 holds, it could be 2 holds, and because it's random, she never knows what she's doing. Okay, this has been over 3 minutes, so take that off. And now the only thing I do differently as far as the reinforcement, if it's longer, I'm gonna give her 2 hands full, not 1 handful of food. That's what I'm gonna do. And that why? Because I want her to be properly reinforced, meaning if she worked harder, she needs to get something, you know, that is equal to that level of work that she's doing. But if you're not feeding through the muzzle, I mean, her nose is still be the same as of right now, and her paws are healing, you know, from what we, yeah, from that slide that you had in my house. So, ta-da! You're gonna be okay, right? You're gonna be completely okay. Yes, you lost some hair, but you'll be okay. And I've got Amanda here, try to see if she can get her away from me, but that might not be possible. Down. Good job. Okay. Oh, that was good. Oh, I'm okay. You don't have to check on me. Good God, lady. Yeah, well, that doesn't help. All right, so if it's between me and Amanda or me, she will not leave anybody. She will not leave me. Down. Good job. So I want you to see that she will listen far away from us, from me, you know, or from you later on. Okay, so I want you to know that. However, if I videotape her with just me or without the leash with Amanda, then what happens is she's gonna be right next to me, and you basically gonna get heel and down video. But that's not the point. Down. I want you to see that she's doing this. She's just a Welker dog for me, and probably the way she was raised and everything else. Okay, she absolutely get attached herself to a one person, stick with it, and this is funny because people think that, you know, trainers are always pushing the dogs, making them do stuff. However, she prefers me over anybody. Down. Now, Amanda has no pressure on anything, no pressure on the leash, no pressure on anything. So, I just want you to see that it's independently where she is in regards to you. Okay, she should be doing this for you, but I'm sure she's gonna stick to you like a glue as well, especially if she feels that you are the leader of hers. So the dog wants to be closer with a person that they can trust, and that the person that can protect them, and the person who can actually make their life more interesting by making them do stuff. Down. As you see, there is no pressure on the leash of any kind, but if we don't do that, she will be absolutely next to me, sticking to me, and not leaving my side at all. So, okay. Now, you see the speed that she is walking with, and how fast she's actually going down. Now, that's pretty much what your ideal is, because she's going to show you down. See? It's hard for her to lie down, but if you don't do this exercises, if you don't actually make her do it, the dog probably won't do it. And it's just like an exercise, like a gym. Okay. Like everything else. You know what I mean? You gotta push the dog. So you gotta push the dog to use these things. Otherwise, she's never gonna use them. And that is the problem in her case, because her joints are so bad and they need to be exercised, not overwhelmed with weight. And down. It's great for her. Absolutely great for her. Now, we all can move, nothing else. So the only reason we're doing it that way is because, again, she will never leave my side. And okay. So that's basically where we are heading, because she found out that not only that I can protect her, I can actually tell her what to do, because this is what the problem is with majority of the people. They think because they're nice to the dog, this is everything that the dog needs. The dog needs a leader because it cannot understand this world at all. It needs somebody who they can trust with making decisions. The problem is, if I can push you, I will never trust your decision making, because I can push you. So the world can push you, 100 times over. So you got to be a strong and demanding thing that stops her from, making those decisions that she has no business of making. Down. Good job. Very good. Okay. Good job. So once her attention 100% on you, then you will have that Welker dog that really doesn't want to take anything of this world without you. So perfect little thing. Let's see, I'm gonna go a little more away because we're going back to the same points. Very good. Down. So you see I'm still moving. Doesn't have to. So great exercise. Obviously, you can do this when you're just walking. It's just I'm not going to be able to show you how she lies down and the speed and everything if she's right next to me. So that's the point that I wanted to make by making this video. So you see how fast she's going. So sometimes she'll refuse to go down for you, because again, it's have to do more with does that make sense? If these behaviors make sense, those behaviors don't make sense. And a lot of times those behaviors don't make sense to them, especially if you make it down, 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 down. It's like, why in the heck are you doing this? So once they start questioning your judgment, they question it with everything. They're gonna be questioning it when they see another dog, a squirrel, or anything. So as far as the judgment goes, you have to become a basic answer for everything to this dog, and then you're gonna have a proper, very tight relationship you're gonna have. But it doesn't build by giving her extra treats. It doesn't build by anything that you think you're doing nice to the dog. The dog needs its life in order, and only you can put it in order, because she is at the level of 2-3-year-old. Well, she's a bully breed, so I would say 2-year-old, more than the 3-year-old. And that's because of the way that the bully breeds are. So it's not about anything else, but she needs somebody who'd be tougher than her. But if she knows you're tougher, she will take that heart and completely put it in your hands. It's an amazing animal. I'm gonna reinforce her for staying that. Now the reason why I'm showing you, she doesn't have to have the food for it every single time. Obviously, we're on a random reinforcement schedule. But the videos are helping you to actually, act around the dog when you just get the dog. So these videos should be your first, your first week and first and second week of training her, working with her when I leave your house. So that is why I show you these videos as how I want you to handle. However, the dog doesn't have to be reinforced every single time. But when you just get her, you're just building that relationship. I can't build it for you. In between two of you, I can build it in the dog, but I cannot build it for you. So two of you are going to have to build your own relationship, and I'm going to give you everything that you need, to include the completely trained dog for that. So you and her are going to put your brains together and figure it out who is the boss. And if she wins, you are just had a very expensive dog vacation. So don't do that. Right? Just listen to what we're saying and listen to all this and get this dog mommy that's tough, right? And not movable, right? In her opinion. That's right. Love her. Go ahead. So this is an impulse control, and we're doing this with everything that she likes and everything she doesn't like. I'm gonna explain to you a little later what we're doing here, but she really does not like this. You can see the body language. Perfect. You can walk away. I am gonna reinforce her for this. Now you saw whole body language. She's like literally, you know, laying down, making herself smaller, doesn't want to look at it. It's a very good girl. So we're doing it with everything that she absolutely hates and with everything that she absolutely loves. Why you doing this is because you got to control all these drives, and we got wind from somewhere, from nowhere. Go ahead, Amanda. Now she loves playing with the stuff. Go ahead. And slow down. Let me go and reinforce her. Very good. Perfect. Go ahead. She loves these things. So, why are we controlling all this? We're controlling all this because that's how your relationship grows. At this point, right now, she wants to play with this toy. She wants to get up. She wants to interact with this. She wants to chew them up. And she, before that, when Amanda did was that toy that she didn't like, all she wanted to do is walk away, get the heck out of there. And in both these cases, you tell her that it's okay to deal with the situation because you're pretty much responsible for her safety and you're guaranteeing her safety. That's what we're talking about, okay? So, and another thing is you're also guaranteeing that the fact that, good job, very good, perfect job, and that you also, your no means a whole lot of things, and your no means that no, right now we can't play, right now we can't do what you want to do, okay? Because this is a very important in your dog's case, since your dog never really had to, you know, think about anything. I mean, she did what she wanted, when she wanted, how she wanted it. And if she didn't want to do it, if you remember, and I remember that really good when I came to pick her up, if she don't want to do it, there is, you know, pretty much no way for her to do it. Well, that's not how you're going to get any kind of control over her mind, over her body, over her pretty much anything. So, and you had, and this is, we're going to concentrate on this a lot, you have to win every single time. You go in it to win. And in this case, that means that you're not going to accept your failure. Now, at this point, what I'm showing you right now off leash, this is all that you need to practice only in a safe environment. There's no other dogs, no other people. This is your backyard. This is your house. This is everything. This is why this dog is on leash, because, I mean off leash. That's because all your relationship is built at the house and in those places, okay? That is the reason why. This dog should never be off leash in any kind of circumstances in regarding of other humans and animals. And the reason why I say humans is because she tend to be shy, and there's no reason for her to worry about them. Now, when she's with you and she knows you protect her and she knows she's fine with you, that is the only way on the leash, through the leash, you're going to show her. So I'm just letting you know that all this off-leash stuff is what we're doing it for, is this particular relationship building exercises. So, and as you can see, I still don't let her go and play with this. I'm going to release her shortly, but you need to work on her patience. You need to work on her paying attention to what you have to say. Now, the reason why also I am right now really big on making her down and stay and all this, is because I cut her weight. She was way overweight, and it's not about her being overweight just for, you know, her whatever being overweight. I don't care. With any other dog, I would just say to you, hey, you know, drop the weight. But in her case, it was crucial to drop the weight, because if you saw her legs, back legs almost didn't move. And when I first got her, she could barely sit. I mean, that took her a lot of effort. And now she's sitting perfectly. She goes down fast. She's going really, really, really nicely, and your dog is going to fall asleep in about 2 seconds. So you need to make sure that you control in her feeding so she doesn't get, because she's not going to live long if she's not going to be able to get up and do stuff. So as of right now, she's incredible young lady for her age. Young lady again for her age, but she's got like a whole new thing because I got her weight down. We exercised a lot, we walked a lot, and we played a lot, and I did cut out a lot of her, you know, not the treats. Obviously treats I went way up, and good girl. So when you're gonna see the dog, so I'm gonna go over here, and then I'm gonna go, so we see the dog over here coming up. You're not stopping, you're not doing anything, you're doing completely, come on, let's go. You're doing the 180. That's what you're doing. And you're coming back to over there. Just keep going. So you avoiding the dog. If you have to and you can't avoid the dog goes that way. You're literally going on some kind of angle. So you make sure that she's constantly with you, and we're not allowing her to look at the dog. That's basically where you are. That's what you're going to correct. Okay? So I need you to stop, please. So now I can control Amanda. You can't control people on the street, so you're gonna have to figure this out. So you have a dog running around here around the Amanda, and I am gonna keep walking with the dog. See how he's staring? She's staring. I'm taking her away from it. I'm not allowing her to stare. The second she goes this way, I'm gonna turn. Right? So we're turning, and we are not. Because if you're gonna let her make an eye contact with the dog, okay, she's not gonna just stand there. And for right now, what I'm gonna do is, if I happen to just stand, right, sit, good job. All right, so Amanda is gonna make a circle around me and give me a, yeah, go ahead, that's fine. So we're doing the circle. You see how she is? Look at how tense she gets. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start away from her. That's where Amanda is, and that's where I am. And I'm still keeping this dog away. I am still keeping, every time she looks, I'm going the opposite way. Every time she looks, I'm going the opposite way. That's what we're doing constantly, right? And then Amanda stops. All right, so if you have to go and you have to pass through her, okay? And you have to pass through her, you're gonna put, you know, I don't care. You will have to like go across the street. You're gonna have to go, you know, that way, or you're gonna completely turn around and leave. All right. So, but if you have to pass through, you're putting yourself between this and the dog. You're putting yourself, and you don't allow her to look at it. And even you can even do this. Let's say I don't have this space. She looks, I'm just gonna turn, and I'm gonna turn while I'm standing. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep attention on me versus keeping attention on the dog. All right, and I'm gonna keep doing this. No, so this, you see how I need to put myself in between the dog and her? Constantly need to put myself between and I'm going to talk to you about equipment in a second, but that's where we are. So keeping the dog on the, good, nope, good, very good. I stumbled up, and I think I stepped on her, so no biggie. because I'm trying to do too many things at once. All right, and Amanda's gonna leave with the dog. All together, leave. Good. And every time she looks at her, I'm turning away. Every time she looks at her, I'm turning away. And we're gonna sit right here. Okay, so I'm gonna talk to you about the equipment, and they're gonna go away. So here's what I'm gonna talk to you about the equipment. See how she's staring at her even when they're leaving? I'm gonna turn her around. Sit. Very good girl. And no, I don't like this. She's stepping on me, I'm stepping on her. Sit. I don't want her to look at the dog. There you go. Awesome. Awesome. Good job. Good dog. All right. So now I'm going to talk to you about the equipment and how it is. So again, this is not a muzzle that you need to have at all. So this is your training muzzle right here. You see how this is? Rubbing on it. That's not good. Okay. But it's going to rub because it's not made for her. And it's always rubbing when she is stressed out, which is dog obviously made her stressed out. Now, you see this pinch collar is right on top. This pinch collar is going to give you the steering power. And it's going to be right up there. Okay? So that's how I'm going to give it to you. The next one is your e-collar. And the e-collar is because you can't really correct her strong with the pinch collar because the way, you know, just the way everything is, she is so much bigger than you. Then the e-collar is going to help you because right now I didn't have e-collar on my hand because I had to do a video. Okay, so since I do a video, I'm not using the e-collar, but every time, remember, when her head turned, I would use the e-collar to help if necessary. So as of right now, I didn't need it. Now, what is this for? This right here, big collar. Now this collar is going to go home with you. And I'm going to give it to you because this is a German steel and German company, most reliable choke chain. And this choke chain goes together, as you see, with the pinch collar. Okay, so they're coming together and they're staying absolutely together. So if something happens to a pinch collar, which is your dog is still going to be attached to this big choke chain that is going to catch on it. Now, as far as leash, look at the size of the leash that I'm using. That's the only size of the leash that you should be using. You should have a very, very big quality leash that is this size. Now, the more your dog gets space between you and her, the harder she's going to pull you. You remember all that. I mean, I remember when you walked in here. Now, the only thing is, was this, you got to find yourself a very good collar. So for me, this is the right length. When I'm standing, it's not really pushing the dog, but the dog goes nowhere because of the length of the collar. And I will never let her go anywhere where the dog potentially can be. I would not give her out of my sight at all, because with, again, her being more heavier than you, is just, and you know, she's an animal, so she needs to be able to be under your control the whole time, and that's the only way. So if you're gonna do this with your collar, so people who do this is not stable. You think you're stable, but what happens is, I'm gonna show you the dynamic of that. It's really putting you in a very bad position where you can dislocate your shoulder and your dog is going to get away from you anyway. So the best way to hold it when you have something like that is to wrap it around your tongue and wrap it like this. That is pretty much guarantees you success as far as how you're going to walk the dog here. Okay? And this is the only way you're going to be strong enough to hold her. Another thing is your mental part, right? So this dog is not going anywhere, and that's how in your head. If you're gonna think that you're gonna lose her, you're gonna lose her. If you think that you're gonna hold on to her, you're gonna hold on to her, because again, we're giving you all the necessary tools for it, right? So with this collar, it will be so much easier to control her for you. And the muzzle obviously will prevent if somebody runs up to her. Because if somebody runs up to her, all you can do is just keep your dog right here and basically now rely on the self-defense tactics and not a dog training tactics, because from that point on, when somebody enters your space, there is really nothing that you know, you can do, except put your dog a little bit behind, just like that, behind you. So, and hold her right here at your side. The muzzle is going to prevent her from biting it in the first however long. But those are more self-defense situation than it is a dog training situation. So you treat it as such, whatever that is. So I'm going to take her muzzle off now. You can see that she's absolutely great with it. So there's no issues. There's no, even though, you know, it's not her real thing. But anywhere outside, this is how I would walk her, because this way she's never that much away where she can pull you down, right? So she's going to be right next to you, and that's the whole time. Now, this is not what you will do. This hand is completely attached to the dog. If you got to do anything, you're going to do that with the opposite hand. And I'm just going to give her some treats for right now, and we're going to do all that. But got it? Now, in this situation, when there is a dog presence, and I did all these stupid things, I think, to step on her or whatever, and that's because I got a videotape, and so I really didn't pay attention where I was stepping. So you're gonna pay attention to you and your dog. You can't control the other dog. So when you meet with a dog, you see where they are, but then you're concentrating on your dog. Your job is your dog. You cannot possibly control what other people do. That's just not going to happen. I mean, I have screamed before, you know, stop and don't go, and, you know, take your dog or whatever. It makes no difference. So you're not staring at the dog that's ahead of you or behind you or whatever. You are dealing with your own dog, and you need to change directions, and you need to let everybody go, pass and whatever, and try to predict where they're going and get the heck out of the way. Now, what I like this leash for is she lay down. This is the barely I can, you know, hold her. That's all. That's all you need to accomplish as far as that goes. Now, why don't I like her when she's down? Why don't I tell her to down and stay? The reason why I'm not telling you to use a down and stay in the case of the dog is because when dog springs from the down position, it creates at least 2 or 3 feet ahead. So let's say she's lying down. Next thing, she is getting up and jumping forward. Well, if she's standing, she can't get that momentum. But if she springs up, now her bones and her back legs are pretty bad. Like I said, now they're much better because I dropped the weight on the dog. But without this, let's say, you know, she couldn't really get up really quickly, but you know, and you saw before when we had her, when we had her doing the evaluation, that from that down, she just leaped so strongly toward that dog, and she's gonna literally, you know, try to rip your arm out, or she's gonna gain 2 or 3 feet that you don't need to be. So your dog is not going down. Now, I did make her sit a couple times. Sit I kind of like with her, just again, because her back legs are so weak. So she really can't sprint on that, but her front is extremely powerful and strong. So hoping this is all makes sense. And that's Amanda over there standing, so that's where she's looking at. So there's no dog. Amanda doesn't have any dog. She's just watching Amanda. That's all that's happening. All right, so that's basically all that's happening. And I would never walk her on any leash longer than this. And I would never walk her on any other combination of the leashes and the collars. Because without the pinch collar being up here, up her neck, so you can control her head, you are not going to be successful with her because she's stronger than you. She's stronger than me, too. The only difference is, you know, I've done with this before. And as far as the reactivity, with the way she reacts on the dogs, you need to catch it before she's lunging, because when she's lunging, you are behind the power curve, and you should never, ever get there. Your point is, the second the dog starts staring at the dog, you are turning away the dog, your dog, okay? She's now healing perfectly. She knows what's expected of her is to heal. So that is the biggest thing that I can tell you. You know, now she's all completely, you know, worn out. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Okay. So hopefully all this makes sense, and that is how you're gonna manage this, because you're not gonna get rid of it. This is impossible to get rid in her age, with her experiences, and with all her life prior to today. It's very, very hard to like say, well, that's not gonna happen, because at this point, this is only management. It can't be cured. It's a management. That's all you're doing. And you're also learning how to pick that up earlier. And the biggest thing, what you need to think about is your equipment correct? That's number one. And number two, do you have a, you know, completely winning in your head attitude, meaning that you got this, you know, you got this, and you're not going to just say, well, I'm already losing. So that's the worst thing that you can do. And in that case, you know, this is going to end up pretty bad. So you're not losing. You are going to have a ways to hold her. And that's basically are going to be your new way of handling when you see somebody or something, or, you know, and you're going to avoid it 100% of the time. However, if something happens, you're equipped with this kind of knowledge that, and with the equipment that's going to make you responsible with your dog. All right, she knows I am gonna go out, and this is not a door we ever use with her because she lives in that side room. So she is going through the side door or the back door. So because this is where the small dog area is, and we are not even getting her anywhere close. But so because she's never really had experience with this door, but like any door, this is what you want with her to do. So first thing first, this is the doors that are safe for going to outside. Obviously, this is not your front door, because the dog should never be off the leash anywhere, you know, in these kind of scenarios. But if it's a door to your backyard, if it's a door between the rooms, if it's a door, whatever it is, if you're going somewhere and you're stepping out. So why, there's a couple reasons why we do this. You know, another thing is, what you don't see me do is, you don't see me telling her DOWN or CIT or STAY, whatever that is. You're not telling her any of this, okay? I just want her to respect the boundary on all the places that she's normally going out at without a leash. So first and foremost is absolutely respect towards you, because you are the one who comes out first and makes sure the situation is safe, secure, or the situation is acceptable for her to come out. Second thing is, you're the only one who can see. If you're going to let the dog first, you're going to be behind the power curve. And if there's a squirrel or, you know, injured raccoon outside, I mean, that's Florida. You can have anything outside. And if that's what you're going to be doing, okay. So that's where the dangers are going to come in. So you want to check the situation first before you let the dog out. So that's that. Another reason is, every time that she's going to see, like this door, she's never went out, but normally, obviously, she would just run through any door. I mean, and now this door has now been practiced with her, and she is respecting it. Now we're going to do your door, probably go into the backyard one. And that's the door that we're going to practice, and then you're just going to take every door that you need, and you'll be able to establish this. This is something else for dog to do. This is another extra boundary, and you will see me when I walk into stuff. I will absolutely, I already know it's safe inside. I'm going to step outside, look if it's safe inside. There's no dogs, there's no nothing. And then my dog is going to come with me on the leash. Make sense? So all of that is a secondary precautionary thing, but you never should do this with your front door, not with this type of dog. And especially always remember that this dog is being trained when she is, what is it, 8 years old. This is it. You know, she has a whole life of experiences ahead of her. I mean, behind her. So this whole thing is new thing, and she is entertaining this. But that's not really gonna be something that I would trust her with. Now, I can also come in, and I can also, if I want her to go, okay, I can invite her in, and we are off to the races. Good girl, you never went out this way. Yes, you never went out this way. Good baby. But baby, go baby, go baby. Are we gonna play? Are we gonna go play? Are we gonna go play? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I love your dog. Come. Perfect. Okay. Now, a lot of times people will say, why would you train a dog like this who cannot be outside off the leash? Train him off the leash. Come. Good job. Okay. Well, it's because in her backyard or anywhere where she is secured, and in her house, she's completely off leash. So I want you to work on your relationship every time. She sticks with me. She pretty much always walks with me since we started building our relationship. So she's not going away anywhere. Well, that's until, you know, she sees something more interesting than me. So then I, or whatever that is. But the point is, every time that she is off leash, you gotta work with her on all these, you know, different behaviors, because every time you ask her to do something and she's done it, it's building up your relationship better and better. And on her secured backyard and at her house, she is going to be off leash. Okay. Now you see how she's sitting in front of me before I give her the treat? So come includes sitting in front of me, you know, in her case. Now, she has a pretty bad feet. Now, I took some of the weight off of her because she was at least 10 pounds overweight. Now, those 10 pounds are making very hard for her to sit or do anything. So I don't want you to lose the dog, you know, or for dog to be in pain all the time. So since we lost that time, come. Good job. Since we lost that time, okay. Good job. These are good job. These are good job. These are good job. I love you. Okay, girl. Good job. She feels so much better. She feels so much better, right? She feels so much better, and she sits so much better, and she lays down and gets up. Oopsie, can't show her. Okay, girl. Yeah, you are. So, very good. Anywho, go on. Come. I have very little opportunity for her, okay, to go away from me. Yes. Now, people normally don't think that dog loves training, loves order, loves everything have to do with this, but they do. And she is, you know, really attached to me even versus like my husband and Amanda, and the only thing they do is literally, now I'm just gonna wait until she's very interested. Come. Good job. Very nice. Okay. Very good. That's very good. Anywho. So she is more attached to me, who work with her, who has expectations, who corrects her, who praises her, who puts the boundaries up, versus people who just love on her. And it is pretty much always the case, but just wanted to let you know, you wanna have a good dog, you gotta spend time every day, every interaction. You are superior to her. You're human. She's not. She'll never understand this world. Come. Good job. See how the city is now so much better than it used to be? I mean, this is incredible, but that's all the lost weight. All right, well, I'm gonna let you go, but because we're already 5 minutes into it. But just understand that although she can be off leash anywhere but in secure area with no other animals, and by no other animals, I actually mean squirrels and all that stuff. We'll talk about how to handle this, but her prey drive is high, and we don't need to be letting her, you know, display that. So, anywho, last time, just so you can see your dog. Perfect. I didn't ask her for it, so I'm not gonna give her anything, but she is an absolutely perfect little girly. I love you. Yes, I do. So, we're in the pet supermarket, and what's gonna happen is I'm gonna attempt to go there. If I see that dogs are in there, I am gonna turn around and tell you how, you know, pretty much follow the protocol I'm asking you to do, because there's really no reason for you to force it and no reason for you to end up in this situation. Now, she already knows that there is something going on, because today we didn't go to any of the places that are normal places. We actually went to very abnormal places today, because I'm making the video, so I don't want to take her into the proper place, you know, where she's going to become her. I actually want to take her a place that she's not been. So I'm actually going to slow her down, see how she is. Now, she wants to come out way too much for me. I'm not going to do it. Just not. Okay? I'm not going to let her push me. And you can see it. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I was trying, I mean, oh, well, maybe this way. I don't know if it's going to be easier for you or not to see. Maybe not. Yes, maybe it is. Okay. So this is a little, she was pushy, so I put her back and I kind of stepped back, and I'm going to wait to try that again. Okay. Because I am not going to be pushed by her into opening the crate or doing anything. Okay. I'm also not baiting her with the food either. So what I'm doing is I'm going to reinforce it if she deserved it, but I'm not going to reinforce it. And so happened that I couldn't even open my treat bag. That's what she's staring at. But anyway, as of right now, I'm looking around, making sure there's no loose dogs anywhere. There's no people with dogs that are not going to have any control over anything. So right now I don't think that there is a deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put her muzzle on, and we're going to take that journey. Okay? Good job. Good job, girl. Come on. Good job. All right, so I put that on. Then I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to hold a little bit. Then I'm going to let her out. Okay. Good job. Come on. Good girl. Come here. Good job. And again, see how she's just with me. There's nothing she needs to do. I'm going to close the car. Good job. and I just petted her. So this is something that you haven't seen, and we're gonna go. Okay, so again, we're going with the promise that I don't see the dogs around here. I would not be going into the hornet's nest. And yeah, that was a pretty hard on that car, sports car. So both jumped, not just your dog. I jumped too. All right, so we're gonna do this. I don't see any dogs in there, so I'm gonna proceed. Okay, we're gonna go through here. Gonna go through here again. So far I don't see any dogs. I'm looking for them. I'm gonna turn around right here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give her some treats. And again, once you develop a good relationship with her, you're not gonna need that. But as of right now, treats are what's gonna keep you in power. So you see how she is somewhat behind me? So her head is right next to my leg. That's where I'm gonna keep her for the rest of our walk. There's the different birdies, and she smells everything, so it's not like she doesn't smell it. I'm gonna turn around here, and I don't have to hold her right here. I mean, I'm holding the leash, but she's not pulling, she's not pushing, so we're actually doing very well. I'm gonna stop right here again, and I'm gonna reinforce the dog. I suggest that you do it now. Good job. So without distractions and being that upset, because right now she's just stressing, but without being like this, of course she can tolerate muzzle for minutes and minutes at a time, and for a long time, even though its muzzle is not made for her and it's not really comfortable. But because this muzzle is not like her, and because she's stressing out, I don't want to be pushing her to the point where she completely hates this walk. So that is why I'm using food. Well, treats in this case. So very nice and not stressful walk at all. So except that we jumped on sports cars. But I don't blame her, right? All right, so I'm gonna do this. We come up here again. I'm gonna open the car, and I'm not gonna let her jump in until I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell her to jump in. And okay. Oh, good job. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. She's a big girl. It's a big girl. Right. I'm sorry. So, yeah, I'm sorry. She's asking me a question, but I'm on the video. I'm sorry. Thank you. That's okay. All right, so I am definitely going to just pet her and give her all the love and attention, and especially since she doesn't want me to take off she doesn't want me to take a muzzle, so she's good. She's not asking me for it, so because of that, I'm gonna pull away and make sure she's okay with the muzzle, and only then I'm gonna release that pressure and take that muzzle off. So I'll do that, and after that I'm gonna close everything up. And again, I will suggest that you're completely keeping all this set up as a secondary reinforcer for all the time that you're with her. So that is absolutely a must, because you always want to have a double safety net with everything that you do. Who is that? Who is that? Who is playing? Okay. Who's the play girl? Who's the play girl? Come here, you. What a good girl. Okay, go in. Perfect girl. Perfect girl. Come here. Let me just take this off. Good. Very good girl. Okay. So, I just want to let you know that I don't know if you're keeping her in a crate in the house. You should. because she absolutely loves to have her own space. I watched her sleep without the crate and I watched her sleep with the crate. And those are two different dogs. Okay, altogether two different dogs. The dog who's sleeping in the crate is sleeping sound, is really having a good night. And the one that is roaming around the house, which is she wasn't allowed to roam all my house because of her dog issues and me having other dogs here, but she was allowed to roam like the mutual area and her own room, and that didn't go over well. The dog didn't really sleep as good as she should have been. So in the end, she was just sleeping in her crate. I did close the door, but in your case, the closed door will make her sleep better, just because that way nobody can get past her. And it's kind of like, everybody likes to have their own room and their own stuff, and that's basically what you want to accomplish here. So that is what you want to accomplish. Now, this crate I have never put her in before. Obviously it has no bottom. The reason why it has no bottom, because it's an emergency crate. And what we do is, I don't trust my gate is constantly closed, but I have a 4 feet, which is, I have to do by the county standards. I have to do the 4 feet, fence. And we had sometimes dogs in the yard, like random dogs, just the dogs who escaped from other people and whatever. So with my situation, I actually have random crates like this all over my property. So if something goes wrong, I have a way to put the dog quickly away. And these kind of crates, I just stand here just for that particular purpose. So those are my emergency crates. And luckily, it's not been happening for many years. But we had a neighbor's dog who jumped in. And if I didn't have that crate set up, I would have had a bloodbath here. So wouldn't work out very well. So I am swearing by having the crates, like randomly all over my property. So because she's never been in there, all I wanted to see is she, first of all, likes it. Second of all, this is I didn't want her to lie down on that crate. But the thing about this is it's a good thing, right? So she's comfortable. That way she's going to go to the vet comfortably. All this good stuff that she can do. And the crate manners matter, because that's the first thing that you do. Let's say in the morning, that's the first thing you do, when you come back. Not the first thing. Hopefully it's not the first thing. When you come back, you shouldn't be doing that first thing. But after 5 minutes or so, you're going to come back and actually let the dog out. So that's one of the most important things. Is your dog is not your priority when you come home. You put the dog away in a crate, then you come home, do your own stuff. I don't care if you do, I'm sorry, I'm getting bitten here by all kinds of animals. Mosquitoes mainly. But so what was I? Okay, so you come home, and the first thing you do is go wash your hands, put your stuff away, do whatever you need to do before you get to the dog, because what you don't want to associate is you walking in, immediately giving attention to your dog. That's not a good, psychological thing for them to do. And it's going to relieve your dog from a lot of anxiety of, waiting for you when you get home, because it's all going to be separated in her mind. So if I'm going to talk more in depth to you as far as what the dogs is, feeling and doing and in those cases. But this is a very, very important thing, that she respects you and your boundaries right away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up. Now, just because I opened it up doesn't mean that she can leave. It does not, right? So it's open, but I am not going to. I'm going to give her a reinforcement in the crate. Now, you don't have to, but I'm also going to put her equipment on. And putting equipment on does not mean that she's going to come out either. So there you go. Very good. Perfect dog. Okay. Very good, baby. Yes, we can go play again. Yes, we can go play again. Yes, we can go play again. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Who's that, my baby? Who's my baby? Who's that, my baby? Where are you going? Go in the house? Who's that? What is that? Huh? Can hear you. Oh, yes. Oh, I love you. Good God, I love this little... Yes, I love you so much. I love you so much, little girly. I love you so much. Yeah, I do. Yes, I do, I do, I do. Yes, I do, I do, I do. I do, I do, I do, I do. Yeah. Good baby. God, I love you, dog. Okay. Love it. All right, we're gonna go play. It's enough of this video.